In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Muhammad Ali, your ICT teacher from Pakistan. I have been given the topic of secondary storage media. Before starting the topic, I just want to discuss about the ICT. That what does the meaning of ICT? This is the abbreviation of I for information, C for communication, and T for technology. Now, what does the meaning of an information? Information means an organized form of facts and figures. Now come to the communication. What does the meaning of communication? To share your views to the others. Now come to the technology. Technology is the combination of two words, techno and logy. Now what is the meaning of techno? Techno means different techniques and logy means to study. Now the meaning of technology is to study different techniques. So the organized form of the facts and figures is known as information. So what is an unorganized form of facts and figures called? Yes, the unorganized form of facts and figures is called data. The plural of datum. So data is the plural form of the datum. Datum is a singular form, D-A-T-U-M. Understand? Now communication. So communication, the great source of our communication is our language. So through our language we can make other people understand because of the using of the same language, right? Now technology, different techniques. I forgot S here. So technology, techno means different techniques, different art of works. Logy means to study. So means to study different techniques. For example, some of the students, they use their right hand for the writing and some of the students, they use their left hand for the writing. So this is the technique. So if the right-handed boy or girl wants to write with the left hand, so it will be difficult for him. Or if somebody, or if the person that he or she is writing by using his or her left hand, so it will be difficult for him or her to write with the right hand by using the right hand. Okay, now come to the topic. My topic is secondary storage media. Memory? First of all, we have to know about the memory. That what is memory? It is a basic term of our life through which we can store the data and then recall the data of any moment of our life in our brain. So brain is a particular part of our body which is not only controlling our whole body or also saving the data or those activities that we are performing in our daily routine. So that is the memory. Now come to the next part, that human memory. What is human memory? Human memory is divided into three categories. The first category is known as sensory memory. Sensory memory is based on your senses, watching, for example, watching, listening, touching, smelling, speaking, etc. So these are the senses through which we can sense or we can know about those things, that whose voice is this, who is calling me, the voice recognition thing in our mind. So touching, by using the touching sensory. So if we must know about the fire, that if I get close to the fire, so it will make me burn. So this makes the sense. It gives me an information about that if I touch the fire or if I get close to the fire, so it will make me harm. Do you understand? So this is known as sensory memory. Now come to the short-term memory. Short-term memory is also known as temporary memory, ability to hold a small amount of information in our mind for short time of period. Unimportant activities or things. For example, if somebody wants to ask me that what did you eat 3 days ago, so in your lunch, so I will start thinking that 3 days ago or last weekend, what did I eat, what did I take in my lunch. So it will be very difficult to recall the memory, because it was not any special occasion, there was not any special occasion or any special event. Or if somebody wants to ask me that, yes, last Sunday it was the birthday ceremony, or it was the birthday of Akhtar, so which dress you wore, what color dress you wore. So I will tell him on the spot that I wore white suit on his birthday. Do you understand? Because of that special event, either unimportant things we cannot discuss or we cannot recall. Now come to the long-term memory. There it refers to the permanent memory, information stored for a long time of period. Valuable things are stored in our long-term memory. For example, our relations and our parents, our friends, those are meeting with us on daily basis, and our name and the names of my brothers, my sisters, my parents. So I cannot forget them, because those things are stored in my permanent memory. Now come to the computer memory. It was the human memory. Human memory is categorized into 3 parts. Now come to the computer memory. Computer memory is categorized into 2 parts. Computer memory refers to storing the data either temporarily or permanently. Computer memory refers to storing the data either temporarily or permanently. Computer memory is basically divided into 2 main categories: primary memory and secondary memory. Now come to the definition of the primary memory. Primary memory is also known as a temporary memory, volatile memory, or main memory. So 3 words are used for the primary memory. Temporary memory, why it is called temporary memory? Because it stores the data temporarily. Why it is called volatile memory? Because the data vanished from the memory. And why it is called main memory? Just because of this is the main memory of the computer. Without main memory, computer is not able to run. In which data can be stored on temporary basis? If computer is turned off, all the data will be removed and can't be retrieved when we turn on the computer. If those tasks that we are performing in our computer and we are not going to save it on permanent basis, so those tasks will be removed automatically. When we turn off the computer and we turn on the computer, it will be removed. Now come to the secondary memory. This memory is used to store the data on permanent basis in a medium. Secondary memory is also called permanent memory or auxiliary memory. Now come to the next point: primary storage media. So storage media of the primary memory are RAM, ROM, and cache. Now RAM, what is RAM? RAM is also known as your primary memory. This is the main memory, this is the primary memory in which data can be stored on the temporary basis. So this is the RAM. You can see on the screen, RAM means random access memory. Now come to the ROM. This is ROM. This chip you can see on the computer, it is fixed on the motherboard of the computer system. Yes, it is fixed on the motherboard of the computer system. And what is the purpose of this memory? Read-only memory. ROM stands for read-only memory. All those manufacturers that they are going to store their information about their company. So when we turn on the computer and we see the logo and we see the some written work on the black screen with white writing, so that is stored in our ROM. All those things are stored in the ROM that are saved by the manufacturers in this chip. Now come to the cache memory. Cache memory is one of the most fastest memory that can be found only in CPU. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. So cache memory, there are levels of this memory: level 1, level 2, level 3, etc. So these are the things, these are the primary memories. Without these memories, computer is not able to work. If RAM is not available, the computer will never be turned on. If the ROM is not available, obviously the computer is not going to be turned on. The cache memory, obviously if the cache memory is not residing inside, you can see the screen, the RAM is ready to carry the data, but the processor is not available, the processing memory is not available. So how can I process my data? Now come to the next slide, secondary storage media. Now what is secondary storage media? As we have discussed before, that devices to store data permanently are known as storage media. Three different types of the storage media are magnetic, optical and solid state. So these are the three, not only the types, these are the technologies to store the data, the technique of storing the data on the medium. So magnetic type of the data, the optical device that is used to store the data by using the optical devices, by using the laser beams, and solid state, these are the chips. You can see the ICs, integrated circuits. These ICs are fixed in a green circuit, in a main circuit, in a board. So these are the technologies to store the data, that how to store the data, and by using which technique we can store our data on the medium. Now come to the magnetic storage media. These are the magnetic storage media. Magnetic storage or magnetic recording is the storage of data on a magnetized tape or metallic disc. Two types are discussed in this statement, that you can see the magnetized tape and metallic disc. So later we will discuss on it. Magnetic storage media depend on the magnetic properties of the certain materials, that is iron and nickel alloys being the most common, right? Now magnetic material is coated on the surface of the disc or tape. Magnetic discs are made up of metals or hard plastic material. Magnetic storage uses different patterns of magnetization in a magnetizable material to store data and is a form of non-volatile memory. Now the information is accessed using one or more read-write heads. Now what are these things? That magnetized tape, metallic disc. So you can see this is an audio cassette, and this black area is a plastic tape. Fine. Now this is the video cassette. This object was using to show the data visually, and this was audible. Fine. This is the hard disk. This is also the type of the hard disk. Now come to the I just want to show you these type of the discs. I couldn't find this audio cassette, but this is the smallest form of this video cassette, you can see. And this object you can see on your screen, this is known as video cassette. As you can see on the screen, this is video cassette, and here when I push the button, I'll open it and I will show you the magnetic tape. So this is the magnetic tape. Do you see? This is the magnetic tape. There can be found magnetized material to store, to catch, to read the data and to write the data. Do you understand? Same thing is with the audio cassette. This is also a very thin tape of this cassette is used to store the data in this object. Now come to the hard drive disk. This is hard drive disk. That you can see, this is the open form of this hard disk and this is the closed form. As per my information, this is airtight. Why it is airtight? Because if I open it, so it will be not useful. So there are different techniques to recover the data. Great machines are planted in the workshops to retrieve the data or to read the data. And now come to the floppy disk drive, FDD, a small portable magnetic disk that is used to store and transport the computer data, sometimes called diskette and now increasingly obsolete. Fine. Now you can see the structure of this floppy disk. It was a plastic jacket and in this plastic jacket, this is the disc that was planted inside this jacket, and this is hard jacket, hard plastic. This jacket is made up of hard plastic, and this is a very thin layered, just like a tape, but not tape. You can say that it is a hard tape based disc that is planted inside this jacket. Here, hard disk drive, that you can see again the opened part of this hard drive disk. A computer hard disk drive, HDD, is a non-volatile data storage device. It is a non-volatile data storage device. Non-volatile refers to storage devices that maintain stored data when computer is turned off. So when we are going to turn off the computer and we want to recall, or we want to retrieve the data again, so the data must be saved in our secondary storage device permanently. Either we cannot retrieve the data if the data is not stored. Hard disk drives are internally fixed on PC, usually to store non-volatile data to be read or written on the surface of the disk in the form of zeros and ones. These disks are used to store disk operating system or the system software and application software to retrieve the data quickly. Now you can see the DOS, disk operating system. It's supposed to start the computer to go from the CLI to GUI. CLI means command line interface to the graphic user interface, and GUI, that we have mouse in our GUI, graphical user interface, that helps us to move, to copy, and to store, and to read and to write the data easily. It is very user friendly device, and it is very user friendly system software, that is Windows, most commonly is used all around the world. Now come to the next slide. Uses of hard disk drive. Now you can see the hard disk drive. These hard disks are usually used to store operating systems, general purpose application software, and special purpose application software. Most commonly shared on LAN and WAN to save and needs fast retrieval of data. Now see, most commonly shared on LAN. What is LAN? LAN is referring to the local area network, and the next thing is WAN, wide area network. The third type of this network I have not discussed, that is MAN, metropolitan area network, that becomes in between LAN and WAN. LAN, local area network; MAN, metropolitan area network; and WAN, wide area network, to save the needs fast retrieval of data. Now what are the advantages? They have fast data transfer, data retrieval, and store data in a very less time with large capacity of storage. What are the disadvantages? These disks are not portable and not carryable because data can be damaged, crashed, and lost easily. They have moving parts like disk media that reads, writes data. Now here the terms are used to say that they have moving parts like disk media. You can see the disk. This hard disk is called PATA, Parallel Advanced Technology Attachment. This is PATA. You can see that this area, this port is used to connect the data cable, and this is used to connect the power cable. Power cable make it useful. Power cable makes it useful. Power cable is transferring power, giving power to it, and data cable is used to transfer the data from computer to hard disk and hard disk to computer. Now that is called parallel advanced technology attachment. Now come to the next type of the hard drive disk, that is SATA. the most commonly, both are the most commonly are using in our computer systems. Serial advanced technology attachment. Serial advanced technology attachment. You can see the size that there is a huge difference between the sizes of these two products. So you can see that this is connected with the computer system. These are probably used for your laptop computers, and these PATA, these hard drive disks are using in your desktop computers. There are different categories, types of the computer system. Desktop computers that you put the system on the table, that are known as desktop computers. Now come to the second category, that is laptop computer. The upper portion of the thigh, that is called lap. So laptop, you are putting the computer on your laps, so that is known as laptop computer. And the third form, the most commonly that is using nowadays, that is your mobile cell phones, the smartphones. All the smartphones are the type of the PAM top computers. This is known your PAM, P-A-L-M, PAM. So PAM top computers. All the smartphones are known as your PAM top computers. They have moving parts like this. The disadvantages: you can carry the SATA easily, but you have to take care because it also has the moving part. What is the moving part? You can see this thing. This is a metallic stick. This stick is known as a reader or head. This head is movable and it is just touching to the metallic disc. Fine. So if we carry it and we got any jerk, so due to the jerk it will make harm, or it will make scratches on the disc, and that area will become damaged. Do you understand? So that is why they are not so reliable. The next technology, that is optical disc. Optical technology involves the use of laser beams to read and write the data on the optical discs. These discs are known as compact discs, CD, or DVD, digital video disc, and Blu-ray disc. Now you can see this is CD I have. This is a CD, compact disc. How I know that this is CD? Because there is CDR is written on it, and the size or the capacity of the storage of this disc is also written on it. That is 700 MB. What is MB? We will discuss it later. The second thing, as we have discussed, DVD. So you can see the DVD. It is same like CD, but a little bit thick than the CD and a fine quality. In a fine quality, and the storage capacity of this DVD is high than the CD. The storage capacity is less, minimum it is 4.7 GB. Now come to the Blu-ray disc. Blu-ray disc is also just like it, and the storage capacity of the Blu-ray disc is round about 50 GB to 256 GB roundabout. Now come to the advantages. They have fast data transfer and data retrieval access in a very less time with large capacity of storage and can be traveled easily. These discs are portable. Disadvantages: these discs can be damaged, crashed, and lost easily. If the disc got scratches, the data will not be read and written. Do you understand? So the disc got scratches, so that area will become damaged, and most probably if the scratches are deep, so the data will not be read or written on the disc. Now come to the third type of the solid state drive, that are also known as SSD. Solid state drive is a solid state storage device that uses integrated circuit assemblies to store data persistently, typically using flash memory and functioning as secondary storage in the hierarchy of computer storage. These devices work in a much the same way as fixed hard disk drives, but are usually connected to the computer and are now specifically installed for the best and fast performance of operating system. These are expensive but much reliable than the other storage devices. So the circuits, the integrated circuits, are used to store the data. For example, I have few of the examples of these flash memory, these SSD. So this is a pen drive, flash drive. Why it is called flash drive? Because the flash technology is used to store the data and to read the data. This is also, you must know about it, this is the memory card. This chip is also known as a memory card. This is also a secondary storage device. And the same thing, this is also SSD. Now come to the flash drive. This is also the flash drive. The flash drive, you can see these are the flash drives that are going to be installed inside the computer. This thing and this thing, these are going to be installed inside the computers or laptops to provide the best performance of the operating system. And it is dedicatedly, mostly people are using SSD nowadays. They are using the SSD for their operating system and SATA for their secondary storage media. Now come to the storage sizes. Excuse me. Typically, storage sizes of the files can be measured in following units. You can see the chart. Units are defined with the bit, byte, kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, exabyte, zettabyte and yottabyte. The abbreviation of these units are given in front of you. The binary value and the decimal value are also given. Bit is representing with the small b, byte is representing with the capital B, kilobyte, KB, megabyte, MB, gigabyte, GB, terabyte, TB, petabyte, PB, exabyte, EB, zettabyte, ZB and yottabyte, YB. Bit stands for binary digit. Now you can see that binary values are 0 or 1. 0 represents for off condition and 1 is representing on condition. Bit can be 0 or 1, only one value. Byte, 8 bits equal to 1 byte and 1000 bytes equal to 1 KB, 1000 KB equal to 1 MB, 1000 MB equal to 1 GB, 1000 GB equal to 1 TB and 1000 TB equal to 1 PB and 1000 PB equal to 1 EB, 1000 EB equal to 1 ZB and 1000 ZB equal to 1 YB and so on. So guys, this was the topic and I tried my level best to make it fruitful for you, and I hope that you learned a lot. Stay safe and stay blessed. Keep care of yourself.